Hello everybody, we are the Geeks and Degenerates. I am Enzo, this is my forever co-host Jump. Today we talk about 28 Days Later, the movie directed by Danny Boyle and starring Cillian Murphy, and is one of the most unique zombie movies out there. What can I say? It's really good. I forgot how good it was until today.
Watching it again made me see a lot of wait a minute. You can see that a lot of movies took a lot of inspiration from this movie.
Yeah.
Like Walking Dead. Well, I don't know if Walking Dead was written before. 28 Days Later. Not sure. Correct us on that one.
Yeah. No, it came out 2012. So.
Yeah, the show or the
comic came out 2009. 2009, I think.
2009. So a lot of it was how Rick woke up in a hospital. Same situation with Cillian Murphy here.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just a lot of things here was just, especially I think is our first time encountering running zombies.
Yeah.
In pop culture, because sure we have Dawn of the Dead, but I think that was in 2005.
Yeah, that was years later. I do like the whole setup of poor Jim, Cillian Murphy just waking up in empty London, being like, what the fuck happened? Where is everybody?
And you gotta love how, I know this is off topic, but you just gotta love how the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
How they did is just that they just filmed London, put a lot of trash everywhere, but filmed it before rush hour.
Yeah.
And I was just damn.
Yeah. This movie really looks like it came out of the early 2000s, just the vibe of everything, the technology they use, and you're just yeah, I remember the era in time called the 2000s. I kind of miss it for some of the other things that don't age well, not really. But yeah, I do love the fact that this show is running infected, just the design of them. You're just you're not quite decaying, but you are just scary when they chase you. You're yeah, you're growling at me and snarling at me. I don't want anything to do with you.
And now they're going at full sprint.
Yeah,
I'm just nah, I'm okay. You know, his first encounter with the dead too was just at a church, at the worst place, one of the worst places possible.
Yeah,
I would expect it to be in the hospital. You know,
yeah, I think Danny Boyle.
There would be more zombies in the hospital.
Yeah, I just love the idea that people were oh shit, there's this thing from monkeys that we can't. That's highly contagious. Let's fucking run.
To the church. But hey, to each your own. Do whatever you want in the
Felt
apocalypse.
so bad for the girl being I don't believe these chimps are harmful, and then later she's just
gets. I think she'd even turn into a zombie. You know, I think she just straight up just got mauled by an ape.
Yeah. But yeah, the church scene, and you were just what kind of fucking feral zombies are these? And you meet Naomi Harris and her male companion, who doesn't last long after they go to Jim's house, and he's I get a little bit of a scratch, just okay, and he just ends him right then and there, and I'm oh,
that is a bit of a depressing scene though. It's him, he's hey, these guys were just hey, we're on the move.
Yeah,
we're going to the exact same direction. You want to join us? And you're can we stop by my house? He gets a bit of clothes, and he finds both his parents just rotting away.
Yeah, they're just you know what? I'd rather not be infected. And I'm you know, in a situation like that seems the more peaceful option to go. Even though that sounds horrible, you're just yeah, rather go on my own terms than be a mindless feral thing snarling and sniffing for food. Yeah, but the poor guy, you see the rules of it's not even a few hours. It's I have to kill you right now.
It's in a second. He's just that one guy just shit. You already see the machete coming at him. I'm oh well, he's done.
I thought the first time I saw this, I'm yeah, she's gonna hack off his hand, and then I'm no, she hacked everything off him. Okay.
Yeah, and it's just and you clearly see oh, that's how it goes, I guess.
Yeah.
The girl didn't even think think for a second, just
yeah. She tells Cillian Murphy the same thing of I swear if there's even a tiny scratch, I will end you. He's wow, yeah. Thanks for the reassurance, buddy. And then they meet Brendan Gleeson and his daughter, and you're like, I hope nothing happens to either one of them, but unfortunately, that's not the case.
Yeah. Brendan Gleeson comes in with a whole like riot. I wish he kept that. You know, I feel like that would have been useful.
Yeah.
And being in London, first thing I'll do, go straight to their National Museum, and just go for the armor. You know, the plated armor.
Yeah.
You know, get me some chainmail.
Yeah.
Get bite-proof.
Like, can you imagine as you're looting the London Museum, you're just like, well, you stole from people, now we steal from you.
Yeah, like a guard goes, you can't steal that. That's ours.
Like, you're just like, is it though? Also, there are zombies chasing us, so who gives a fuck?
Exactly.
But yeah, I do like the bonding moments of the duo of Cillian Murphy and Naomi Harris and Brendan Gleeson and the daughter. Like, especially when like they go to, what was it, Marks and Spencer, and to get stuff.
Yeah. They're just reminiscing about old life. But I will say, there's one of my favorite scenes here, and it's just like I had to put myself in their situation. Is that when they went through the tunnel and there's a little bit of a blockade, so Brendan Gleeson kind of just like off-roads his little taxi and causes a flat tire.
Yeah.
And I was like, and they have to repair it, but they made so much noise doing so that there are things coming, and you're like changing a tire while the zombies are coming after you. Where I'm like, my God, what would I fucking do?
I think I would just take my chances and be like, you know what, guys, it's been nice knowing you. I'm not staying here.
Like, I ain't no F1 mechanic. I can't do that in 2 seconds.
Right. Felt bad when they finally went to the base and no one was there, and then Disney's just freaking out. He just looks up and like one drop from a dead guy, and I'm like, is that? I forgot.
No, it was from a crow.
Yeah, from a crow. And I'm like, are you serious? I forgot how fast it is. He's like at first I thought he was going to be like, it's nothing, and then he's like, what am I doing? I'm not stupid. He like tries to warn off his daughter, and it gets bullet riddled because the soldiers were there. They're just like, who are these people invading our camp?
Yeah, and not gonna lie, a lot of times when I was watching this scene, I was like, that's stupid. You know, like that would never happen in real life. Me eating Szechuan soup, getting shit in my eye, I'm like, you know, just like, it's like shit happens, you know? Yeah.
It's not even because he was just being stupid. He was just like, is that a corpse? I can't tell. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, he's just, well, the man was having a tantrum.
Yeah. And then I go to the military base with like Christopher Eccleston, and I'm like, alright, I forgot you were
a Doctor Who.
Yeah, Doctor Who. You were in Thor: The Dark World. That's one of the worst MCU villains ever. So I'm like, what a... Yeah, he's the Dark Elf. Yeah.
Right, gotcha.
Yeah, he's whatever his name is in the movie. And you're like, I guess our main characters are safe. They're with a garrison of soldiers. But the soldiers have bad intentions because Christopher Eccleston's like, look, I promised my soldiers women for one reason, and you're like, oh, that bad.
Morale's kind of down, so we promised that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
And like, you know how the guy just had to be like, you're a guy though. So if you're cool with this entire thing, you can join us. I was just like, so, but like, of course, Cillian Murphy just had to play along. He's like, yeah, put some camo on me. I'm part of the group.
Yeah.
And then he just like had to like do like an entire like escape thing.
Yeah.
But sadly, he gets caught.
Yeah. And is like has to fake his own death and run out and distract everybody.
But dude, yeah, like he fakes his own death. He's about to get like shot.
Yeah.
The man comes back like Dutch from Predator style.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what? You like he doesn't have a shirt. You see him like sneaking.
Yeah.
Man, he's like gunning down shit. I was like, when did you learn that?
Exactly.
Okay.
He frees that one infected that was chained because they were observing it, and you're like, oh well, karma's a bitch, ain't it? And like it just infects everybody else. Well, I love the scene when that soldier is just freaking out. He just literally runs into Cillian Murphy with the bayonet, and the guy's just like, oh, I didn't really mean to do that, but it sucks to be you right now. And you're like, yeah, it does. And the scene when Christopher Eccleston has them cornered, and then the girl just drives backwards, and he's like, wait, don't, and he just dies like a bitch.
It was very cathartic.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're like, I hope Jim makes it, and like, he's shot in the gut, and you're like, where do you get the medical supplies to be like, yeah, we can clean a gunshot wound, and I'm like, sure, in the zombie apocalypse, sure.
I mean, they were just in a military base, but there are a couple of zombies running around.
Yeah, it kind of has like a hopeful ending when the jet sees their like sign for help, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I guess.
I guess they fucking make it, you know? Like, they have this little commune now. They're like, oh, yeah, there's like a little plane that flies by from here to there.
Yeah.
And, but the thing is, after seeing the whole 28 years later, I don't know. Is he alive?
Oh no, they confirmed that's not him.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Okay. But they did say he's coming back, right?
Yeah, he's coming back. Like at the end of the new one. Like,
Can we just... Did we do a review on, or like a reaction to the 28 years later trailer?
oh, not yet. They were just too packed with stuff in December.
I guess so, but when that thing came out, and they had the boots, was this... I think it was a speech or like a poem.
Yeah.
I was just like, fuck, this thing goes hard. Like, I will say this though. First 28 days later, really good. 28 weeks later, kind of meh.
Yeah.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I rewatched that movie, kind of stupid. And then seeing this one, I'm like,
Yes. Seeing this and 28 years later seem to pair much better than this and 28 weeks later. I mean, it is. I think it's because the director for 28 weeks later is different. Yeah.
no, okay, never mind. Because it is 28 years later, right?
Yeah.
And 28 days later is already 20 years old. Since 2022.
Damn.
So I was wondering if, like, did they match it? And I was like, nah.
Nah.
Nah, they're missing 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, what would you rate 28 days later?
I'll rate 28 days later a solid 8 out of 10. It's such a good fucking zombie movie.
Yeah.
You know? Like, yeah, it's not perfect. Clearly, like, they were on a budget. Nothing wrong with being on a budget, by the way. Sometimes it pulls the best out of everybody. When
Yeah.
you're tight on resource. Like, well, 28 days later, Godzilla. There's like a lot of shit you can do with a tight budget, and here they made such a fucking good movie. A lot of like references and a lot of like influence has been drawn
From this movie?
alone.
Yeah.
And it gave us a whole new look, since we're kind of like, we're kind of used to the whole, like, everything's just in the US, meets always in New York City or something like that, or like somewhere in the suburbs, or I don't know.
I love the fact that they also explained like why the rest of the world isn't fucked. They're just like, well, the rest of the world,
it's a fucking island.
Yeah.
They're like, they cut you off.
right? They're like, you ain't leaving shit. We're gonna make sure the rest of us don't. It's not a us problem. It's a you problem. Bye,
It's a you problem.
Bye, Britain.
Yeah, well, I mean, 28 weeks later, it became US's problem.
Oh,
But,
yeah. Oh, yeah, that's why Jeremy Renner was there.
Yeah. But yeah. But yeah, it's such a good movie, and if you need like a zombie movie to watch, no, I say watch the entire like trilogy if you would like. Before the third one comes out, watch 1 and 2.
Yeah.
2, be prepared for some stupid decisions, but 1 is so fun.
Yeah, hits differently.
It just hits different compared to any other zombie movie.
Yeah. I'll give it an 8 as well. There's literally little to no grabs. It's just that you can notice the budget, but like as you said, it works to its favor because it makes it more like anxiety inducing. Like the scenes when it's just so chaotic that the camera's just shaking. Like normally I don't like shaky cam, but like here I'm like, yeah, that does look like you're running for your dear life.
Yeah, it just conveys the emotion of like urgency. You turning your head because danger's all around. Like yeah. So I like that.
Yeah. To the audience watching, what's your favorite zombie movie from the early 2000s and maybe even the 2010s? Mine's always Dawn of the Dead, the Zack Snyder remake. I like say what you will about Zack Snyder, but when he cooks, he cooks. Yeah, he cooks well.
Dawn of the Dead's really fucking good.
Yeah.
Land of the Dead was such a fun movie.
Yeah.
You know, because it has that guy, like he's from The Mentalist.
Oh,
Didn't
yeah.
expect him to be a zombie movie.
Yeah. Like classic towards the end of the 2000s is of course Zombieland. Like that is such a unique movie. Never seen the sequel because I'm like I don't want the sequel. What if the sequel's alright?
It was so forgettable.
Damn it! No, that's why I haven't seen it because I'm like I don't want to ruin it for myself.
Nobody talks about it, man.
Yeah, exactly. Even though the marketing for it was genius of like we're finally back, and then it barely made a splash.
Yeah.
Can't think of other zombie movies from the 2000s that I really like. But to the audience watching, please comment down below.
Quarantine.
Never heard of that.
Quarantine?
Yeah. I mean, we were in quarantine for 2 years, but
No. Quarantine is it's found footage. It's a bunch of firefighters going inside of an apartment, not knowing that there are like fast running zombies all around.
oh, so there's not a fire. Them just
There
running.
is no fire. It's like I don't know why they called fire department, but anyway, yeah.
It's like
It's really good. One of the best fucking movies. Best zombie movies to come out of the 2000s. Quarantine.
Alright, I'll check it out. But I was about to say, that's like akin to like calling the ambulance because a T-Rex is chasing you. And they're like, what the fuck do we do then? Like, I don't know. Help. I'll need one after. But yeah, if you like what you see here, please leave a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok to see our best and fun. I know I stuttered. TikTok to see our best and funniest moments. Spotify is on the go. And the video of Jodas voices on TikTok. And Ends1 Letterbox. Where can they find you?
You can find me at JohnGM_ on Instagram. It is my art account.
Until the next one, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.